recap of preseason week 1. There's a lot to get into. We've been saying all year with the issues we're going to be this upcoming season. We've been telling you guys that Elway is still there. Elway's still running the show. Elway's still calling the shots. We've been saying that Sean Payton is not calling the shots. He's there to collect a check. He's there to be the puppet of the organization, as Nathaniel Hackett was, as Vance Joseph was, as Vic Fangio was, as George Payton is. And Sean Payton's no different. He has the script in his hand. And we were a little optimistic, actually, considering when they brought Sean Payton in, they brought in Zach Strife. But as we all learned later during the press conference where Sean Payton had spilled the beans, and he said that Elway still will have an office there. Elway is still going to be there. We knew from that point forward the exact season we were going to have right after that. And I said during that part of the season where we didn't know, we kind of had optimism. It could go one of two ways. Either you bring Sean Payton in, you allow him to do his job, you allow him to bring in his own people, you allow him to make football decisions, or you're going to have Sean Payton come in and teach them the Elway way, which is what we have now learned is the case. And for all you people who want to say that we're conspiracy theorists for saying that John Elway is still there, who say that we don't know what we're talking about for saying that John Elway is still there, it's not me who said it. It's not Bucket Man who said it. It's not Denver Bronco Mile High View who said it. It was Sean Payton himself who said it, right in front of George Payton. So is Sean Payton a conspiracy theorist? Let me ask you a question. If you got fired from your job today, would you still have an office there? In fact, when you get fired, you clean your office out and you take your things with you and you don't go back. That's what happens when you actually are fired. So now we have John Elway running things from the shadows, and it's a complete clusterfuck in Denver, which is exactly what this week 1 preseason game was, a clusterfuck. Terrible football, turned it off after the starters left because I had no interest in watching an offensive line get slaughtered all game long. And that's exactly what happened to our starting offensive line, slaughtered by the Arizona Cardinals backups, by their third stringers. Russell Wilson getting strip sacked, fumbled, getting thrown on the ground, beat down all game long. And now the narrative in Broncos country coming from the Broncos content creators, the ones employed by the Denver Broncos organization, because the media is not allowed at training camp. Fans aren't allowed at training camp. So if Broncos Avenue is, just these two random guys who do a podcast together about the Broncos, what gives them the privilege to be at the Broncos training camp over us, over other creators who aren't affiliated with the Broncos organization? Oh, because we're not on their payroll like you guys are. So you guys get paid to hype up and put the lipstick on this pig that you have here, and that's what you're doing. And now you guys want to talk about, Garrett Bowles looks rough. If the Broncos go into next season without a right or a left tackle, they're in trouble. Hello, who's been saying that for the last how many years now? Since 2015. If you don't have an offensive line, you're not going to get very far. And it took you guys this long to finally catch up to this? I just can't. I just can't. So you saw the Broncos offensive line get manhandled by the Arizona Cardinals. You saw Sean Payton keeping the first string offense out to build a narrative, to hype something up, to have something to say after the game. And when Jerry Jeudy did score that touchdown, after he dropped the ball, by the way, it wasn't because Jerry Jeudy made some great play. It was because the corner or the safety had slipped on the grass. They called an all-out blitz, and only 2 safeties were in coverage, and the one safety that was covering Jeudy slipped on the grass. And that's what you're bragging about. And you guys want to be enthusiastic after this? You should be looking at this with great concern. But all right, let's hype it up.
Everything you said, Bubble Man, was dead on. I have a video, a film breakdown on my channel of this preseason game. It's about an hour long. That was probably one of the worst games I've ever watched in the preseason. we talk about this organization in great detail that a lot of other Bronco content creators don't talk about, and they like to hype up the team and to drink whatever Kool-Aid that they spill out over there at Dove Valley, the organization formerly known as the Denver Broncos. Um, this team is absolute dog shit. And uh, man, it is just so frustrating to see a team that used to be respected now have fallen to the great depths that it has. This film breakdown really showed me a lot in terms of what we're going to see this year, and everybody's going to say it's one preseason game. Um, Let me ask you this question: you guys have said that exact sentiment for 8 years, 8 long years, mind you, and we have a guy in John Elway who I believe is still up there at Dove Valley because of what we saw this past weekend and what we've seen this offseason. Nothing has changed over there at all. You have players' names being, you know, you have a certain player's name that's spelled incorrectly on a jersey, a running back, mind you, and you call that culture. You have an offensive line where you're bringing over a guy in Ben Powers who comes from a prestigious organization in the Baltimore Ravens. He looks like dog shit. You have an offensive line in shambles. You brought over an O-line coach where Mile High Bubble, the scouting guy, and Denver Broncos Mile High View were high on, but all three of us had to realize that he was in for a rude awakening. Um, play after play after play, when I did that film breakdown, that looked nothing like the Sean Payton offense as we saw in New Orleans. That looked more and more to me like the Pat Shurmur offense, where you have free runners left and right, where you have on the first play of that offensive series for your Denver Broncos, where it's a bootleg pass. And I've seen this exact same play over and over again, and I just can't get it out of my mind. Where you have Russell Wilson, they do a bootleg pass to the right side of the field, and you have a receiver behind him. Now, let me ask you this. I have never seen a play drawn up like that in my entire life. And I show it in my film breakdown, where you have Cortland Sutton running free in the middle of the field, but Russell Wilson doesn't see him because he has his back turned to him. I mean, if that does not screen inept, I don't know what does. The play calling, and that's why I think Elway's still involved in this shit, because I think he's getting the orders. I have a back-to-back-to-back 4-play series, 4 plays in a row. Once they pass the 50, trying to go for bombs away Pat Shurmur ball. Bombs away Wilson, let's ride. If that doesn't tell you that's Pat Shurmur ball, I don't know what does, because that sure as hell is not Sean Payton ball at all. So you have an organization formerly known as the Denver Broncos that misrepresent the identity of the culture mindset because they don't know what culture is, because they haven't had a culture since Pat Bowlen's been in this organization. And your offensive line has been an absolute dog shit show since the middle of 2014. And you want to make excuses for Russell Wilson with how bad this O-line is. Where was the excuses when you had Drew Lock, when you had Teddy Bridgewater, when you had Joe Flacco, when you had Case Keenum, when you had Paxton Lynch, and when you had Trevor Siemian, even Peyton Manning, when they were being stretched off the field because they were getting killed on the field because their offensive lines were so inept? I sit here and I think Bubble Man is absolutely right. This team is going to be worse than last year, And there's going to be a reason for that, because I believe every team that they face this season is going to want to kick their ass. Want to just kick their ass. Because it is so bad over there. Because they like to run their mouth. You have Justin Simmons coming out on social media saying how we're going to dethrone the Chiefs. I mean, you must be high, Justin Simmons. Because from what I saw in the preseason game, I have Caden Stearns actually helping over the top. And I bring that up in my film breakdown, my hour-long film breakdown. You know, you have these Bronco content creators like Denver Broncos Syndicate where he can, spew all the bullshit he wants. He could put out 5-10-minute film breakdowns. But one thing that he doesn't bring up is the detail-oriented side of it, where you, myself, and Child Deliver, we all look at that side and we're like, what the fuck are we seeing? What are we seeing? It is dog shit over there, and there's a reason why it's dog shit, because you haven't had an identity since 2014 on this team. You really haven't had an identity since the closest thing I can think of is Rich Scangarello. But him and Flacco got into it with Elway, and they got their asses booted. This organization is not truthful whatsoever. They don't give a shit about a winning product. All they care about is the dollar signs and the PR during the offseason. If you're going to call us conspiracy theorists for saying John Elway's still in the building, then you better call Sean Payton a conspiracy theorist, because he spilled the beans. And what was the reaction after that? Oh, a video came out of him smoking weed, smoking a bong. If that wasn't deliberate as hell, I don't know what is.
Yep, it was obviously deliberate. And when did that video come out?
Right after he said it.
And right before draft night. I think it came out on draft night, actually. It was
day one of the draft.
Mm-hmm. And what did the Broncos do in day one of the draft?
They had no draft picks. They were sitting there laughing. When I had Philadelphia Eagles, a competent organization, all line handling their business, while the Denver Broncos are taking photos and being happy and eating mac and cheese and ribs and steak.
And what they do on day two of the draft? They traded up for Marvin Mims. Where the fuck was Marvin Mims at? Broncos Avenue. Your A-plus pick. Where the fuck was he? Where was Drew Sanders? Where was the next Cam? Where was the white Luke? Or where was Luke Kuechly? Where was Luke Kuechly at? That's what you guys said, right? He's like Luke Kuechly. Where was he at? Where was JL Skinner, the guy you said was like Cam Chancellor? Where was he at? Nowhere to be found. Where was your entire rookie class? Nowhere to be fucking found. And you guys want to talk about the offensive line when after free agency, you decided you wanted to justify overpaying Mike McGlinchey, which the NFL laughed at you for doing, especially the 49ers.
Did he play at all on Saturday?
Yeah. Where was Mike McGlinchey, Broncos Avenue? Where's Mike McGlinchey, DNVR? Where was he? Because I didn't see him. We spent millions of dollars. Where were the millions of dollars? Oh, they were in the hot tub. Just like Jawan James, just like Ronald Leary. Part 3 of Ronald Leary injured.
Like Watson, Donald Stevenson. I mean, I can go on with this shit. Hey, Alan Barber.
Hey, Denver, if you want to build an offensive line, you build it through the draft and you supplement it through free agency. You supplement your team through free agency and you build your team in the draft and you build your team with development, kind of like New York over here. Did the Jets get rid of Zach Wilson because he didn't do great starting? No, he's going to develop under Aaron Rodgers, and he's already looking really good developing under Aaron Rodgers and under Nathaniel Hackett. And that offense over there in New York looks much more crisp, much more organized, much more smooth than the Denver Broncos offense has ever looked since Rich Scangarello, when you had that foundation fall on your lap that you just completely took a shit all over. They're fucking stupid. And you guys want to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about? I have DMs from Broncos Avenue taking a fucking victory lap because he was like, oh, Sean Payton came to Denver. You said he won. Yeah, I was wrong because I assumed Sean Payton cared about his legacy and had character which he obviously doesn't because he took the money and ran. He doesn't give a fuck. Sean Payton doesn't give a fuck if this team wins or if this team loses next year because he's collecting this check. And when he gets fired or he retires, he's going to run back to Fox News and he's going to make not one, but 2 checks because you'll still be paying him, just like you're still paying Nathaniel Hackett. And you're running your mouth about Nathaniel Hackett. To me, I'm more happy to be a Jets fan in the Nathaniel Hackett offense than I am to be in the Pat Shurmur offense being taught by Sean Payton. You guys are fucking clueless over there.
I can't. Oh man, you gotta love it. I mean, you gotta love these Bronco content creators actually thinking they're something. But it really doesn't surprise me that they think they're something because they're the super fan. I don't care about being a fan. I care about the winning product on the field, and I care about the health of an organization. I don't care about if I own 5 million jerseys back here. I don't give a fuck if I'm wearing a jersey. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about going to the games. All I care about is a winning product on the field and the health and stability of an organization, which none of those Bronco content creators can actually fathom. I have Denver Broncos Syndicate over here. That sounds like a robotic version of R2D2. And I mean, he sounds ridiculous in my eyes. No offense to, I'm not trying to attack him personally, but geez, if you don't understand, if you're watching film, I don't know what film you're watching. If you proclaim that you're watching the film, then, instead of going to training camp and talking about this shit, actually do what we do. Show the film. And you do, but it's 5 to 10 minute clips. To me, that's not enough. You have to dive into that shit. You can't just look at a play where Russell Wilson throws a ball to Cortland Sutton for a first down and say, wow, he looked crisp. Why did he look crisp? What caused that play to look crisp? What was the microcosm of that play?
You can't claim to be looking at film and to be an expert when you don't look at the context of why Russ completed that pass. First off, Russell Wilson completed that pass because the Broncos ran the ball. They ran the ball. What did they do in Seattle? They ran the ball.
They ran the ball, and he was conservative. And I bring up in the film breakdowns yet again that nobody talks about. And Bubble Man, I hope you get a chance to watch it. Where I have play after play after play when I replay it 5 times on that play to the Cortland Sutton on the left-hand side. He tries to throw it to him, and he predetermines where he's going to go. You can look at it. He stares right at that side of the field, and you have a guy, Marquez Callaway, in the middle of the field, wide open. Wide open. Why is that important? Number one, you weren't going to get the first down. You were going to go 3 and out no matter what. But it would have put your punting and your special teams in a better situation to pin the Cardinals deeper into their own field. Rather than having to kick at the 20, you could have been kicking at the 30 and pinning them deep. That is the part of the detail-oriented side that myself, this guy, and Mile High View look at. That is why they do not talk about that shit at all. They will talk about how great Russell Wilson threw the ball or how Quentin Miners looked good on this blocking technique. But why did he look good on that blocking technique? And I guarantee you, once this video is out there, they'll try and twist it, and because they listen to us. I mean,
that's why this guy exists. He's obvious. You think that after we've been talking about the film for the last 2 years, that there just happens to be this guy out of nowhere, right when camp starts? By the way, who's one of the only people allowed at camp and actually allowed to witness camp with his own eyes because he's on doing film study. You're doing film study of training camp plays, yet you didn't see Garrett Bowles headlocking somebody. Yet you didn't see Cameron Fleming holding. Yet you don't point out that it's Justin Simmons' side of the field getting torched in 7-on-7. But you're going to tell me how great Russ looks? It doesn't matter how good Russ looks. You could put Tom Brady behind this offensive line, and he would get destroyed behind this offensive line. Did you not see what happened to Tom Brady in the in the AFC Championship against the Broncos? He got torched.
Did you not see what happened to him last year when his offensive line regressed? He looked like dog shit.
It doesn't matter who you put back there. You could put Aaron Rodgers back there, Drew Brees
What
back.
happened to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl a few years ago when he went against the Buccaneers? Got absolutely destroyed. And what did they do during that offseason?
Offensive line. And they've been offensive line centric ever since.
They have one of the best offensive lines in football.
That's why they're winning the Super Bowl again next year. I'm saying it right now.
I have the Eagles winning it. I think it's the Eagles.
It's going to be between them and Philadelphia. And by the way, why did those two teams get Broncos Avenue? Why were those teams in the Super Bowl, and why was it such a great game?
Because it wasn't because of Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes. It's because it was a 53-man roster full of players that actually fit the systems.
Two of the best offensive lines in the game.
Defensive lines
in the game. Going at it. Two of the best teams, 53-man roster-wise, going at it.
It wasn't because of Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes. I know you guys are fixated on the, quarterback, princess quarterback argument. That's not how it works in the NFL. That's not how it works in college. That's not how it works in high school. You have to have 52 other guys outside of the quarterback to help you win a championship. It's not just the quarterback. It's not the receivers. It's not the corners. It's not the safeties. It's not the edges. It's the guys that don't get appreciated enough, which I'm going to continue to put out, the offense, defensive lines, and middle linebackers.
Oh, and by the way, where was Josie Jewell that game?
Oh, he looked like I pointed it out. This guy can chopped Mile High View. Him and I just got off the phone with each other, got in talking. He said he was watching rugby ball on his vacation. Players that are playing way better, that could tackle better than Josie Jewell out there. Rugby players. Yep. I have my film breakdown, and I'm calling Josie Jewell out, saying he looks like Josie Jewell out there. He can't tackle. He's missing tackles. He can't recover. Instinctually, Josie Jewell sucks, and I've been trying to tell people that for years now. He's not a Luke Kuechly, Broncos Avenue. Enough with your fucking bullshit. Enough with it. I'm tired of the bullshit of these Bronco content creators. How they get away with this shit blows my mind. They can get 2 5K views. Yours get suppressed, shadow banned. Mine get removed. Mile High Views gets suppressed. I mean, are you really going to sit there and take those people seriously? I mean, that should give you a red flag in 20 minutes when they're getting 1.5K views. And it's more than their subscription base. That's bought, paid for subscriptions by the Denver Broncos, by Dove Valley.
Yep. And it's probably all their staff members subscribe.
And I don't care about subscriptions or views, but I'm just tired of the fake bullshit out there. This world is so corrupt. This world is so fake as fuck. And I'm going to call it out as I see it. Broncos Avenue, Denver Broncos Syndicate, Preacher Man Sports, Colby Sports, Mile High 6, all these fucking morons out there, Mile High Huddle, DNVR, 104.3 The Fan. You guys are all bought and paid for. I'm done with it.
Zach Stevens, Benjamin Albright.
You guys are idiots.
They're fucking stupid. Hey, Benjamin Albright. Weren't you the same guy that told me that Sean Payton wasn't the guy that they wanted to get? He wasn't their first choice, but he
wasn't their first choice. It was Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh was their first choice, who they begged to come here. And the Broncos not once, but twice. And they're so fucking stupid that they chose to side with the front office over a program builder like Jim Harbaugh, because they wanted to say Jim Harbaugh would have came here and said, "Get this front office the fuck out of here. Get these morons the fuck out of here. Get this scouting department the fuck out of here. My 2-year-old son can scout better than these idiots that you have." The same people who select Nick Burrito in the second round trade up from Marvin Mims. Fucking idiots in a room. They must be smoking that Mile High grass over there, picking these.
Oh man, I can't do it. I mean, my God. I mean, nothing is going to change until this front office is out of there. And I really think that this ownership is so fucking delusional. I'm sorry for the F bombs, but my God, I am so tired of this shit. I'm tired of it. 8 years, man. 8 years. This is gonna go. This is gonna go longer than 8. I mean, my God,
So,
I'm gonna be in a fucking wheelchair with with diapers shitting in my pants before the Broncos get good again. I mean, my God, I am gonna be old as fuck, and then the Denver Broncos are gonna be good, man. Oh man.
yeah, I'm going to be in my retirement facility eating fucking cream of wheat because my kids don't love me. And they're going to put me in a retirement facility before this team is good. All right, you guys fucking suck. I mean, this laughter is what I saw watching that garbage product you hyped up during training camp take the field.
I were laughing our
Russell
asses off
Wilson.
during the game.
Oh wow, Russell Wilson stacking days. The offense looks crisp. These are the throws we're going to see under Sean Payton.
And they're still saying that shit,
The
too.
line getting blasted off the line of scrimmage by second and third string Cardinals players. What the fuck do you think is going to happen when you play San Francisco next week? You think that's going to go good? You think that's going to go good? If I'm Kyle Shanahan, I'm putting Nick Bosa on the bench and letting the backups eat this offensive line alive because this is a perfect game to evaluate my young talent on that defensive line. And they're, by the way, newsflash, you might want to sit Russ for that game. And you also might want to sit Russ for the game against the Rams, that whole camp, because Aaron
Donald is going to kick their ass.
And I hope that Los Angeles puts that live feed on so I can watch it happen over.
But you know they will. You know they will.
Over and over and over again. And I hope when you guys get your ass kicked by Aaron Donald, Broncos Avenue, you know what an Aaron Donald-esque player looks like, because it sure the fuck is in Draymond Jones.
But then now they're shitting on him.
Oh, but now you guys are shitting on him. But guess what? He now is in a system that fits him and might actually play up to the standards that we thought he was going to play up to in Denver, because he's a 4-3 defensive lineman, not a 3-4. But that's what you guys do.
He's a 4-3. You guys want to go toe-to-toe with the scouting guy? Let's do it. You want to talk about how Draymond Jones is Aaron Donald-esque? He's a 4-3 5-tech defensive end and a 4-3 defense, which he went to Seattle. Randy Gregory, where does he come from? Dallas, who runs a 4-3 cover 3 system. He played in Nebraska. I watched Nebraska. He was a 4-3 defensive end. Okay? DJ Jones, where did he come from? A 4-3 defense. Now he's in a 3-4 defense.
And guess what? Guess what it's doing to him? Negatively affecting his production on the field.
Ben Powers, what system did he come from? A multi-power run system in Baltimore. They ran the ball, read option.
Why do you think?
Who else? Who else can we talk about here? Drew Sanders. Where does he come from? A 4-3 defense with the Arkansas Razorbacks. 4-3 off-ball linebacker. Where's he at now? A 3-4 inside linebacker.
And you guys,
I watched the film. Okay.
You guys are probably going to move him to the edge, just like you did Baron Browning. You had two linebackers on the inside of the field. You had Kenny Young, Baron fucking Browning. That was actually a solid inside linebacking unit for this team.
It made sense.
What'd you do? What did LA do to that? That was Fangio, by the way. Unzipped his pants and took a piss all over all that. And what do we get? Josie Jewell and Alex Singleton, two of the worst inside linebackers in the league, no matter what system you put them in, because they can't fucking run.
I'm hearing that Broncos Avenue and these Bronco content creators are saying they're one of the better inside linebacker duos in the league.
They're third stringers on 32 other teams. On 31.
They're third stringers on the fucking Chiefs. They're third stringers on the fucking Bills. They're third stringers on the Philadelphia Eagles. How much bullshit do you need to put out? Holy shit.
Who got rid of Alex Singleton, by the way?
The Eagles.
Yep. Oh, if he was good, do you think he would still be in Philadelphia? You fucking morons. If he's so good, why isn't he starting in Philadelphia right now, you fucking idiots? Because he's too slow. They see what we see. He's too slow. Can't cover anybody. The only thing he can do is maybe he'll pop up on a run blitz, which he had one good play. Doesn't matter to me. That doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't that one good play doesn't take away the liability that he is in pass coverage.
And you know what? You guys can call us conspiracy theorists all you want. You guys can say that we are in our mother's basements, that we don't have the views, the clicks, the likes, the subscriptions. I don't give a fuck about that shit. All I care about is continuing to prove you guys wrong, which I'm pretty damn good at. Go look at my track record. Look at this man's track record. Go look at Denver Broncos Mile High Views record. I mean, we have video archives galore exposing you morons. So do you. So do I. Outside of my videos getting banned or removed, just go to my BitChute channel. Okay, so before you sit up here and say, you're going to talk your shit and we can't respond, you guys deserve every fucking ass whooping you get because you run your mouth, you don't shut the fuck up. You guys have more Bronco content creators than the Philadelphia Eagles do in their content creator community than any other content creator community in the 31 other teams in the NFL. So don't give me that fucking horse shit that you guys are making a difference, because you guys aren't making a difference. You guys continue the same old fucking wheel, the fucking hamster in the fucking wheel with the cheese. You guys bite the fucking cheese every offseason, and you guys are proven wrong. And once the season comes around and once you guys get your asses kicked, oh my God, you really think that the Raiders are going to tuck their tails? The Raiders kicked some asses past weekend. They are going to want to kick your fucking ass.
Especially Josh McDaniels, by the way.
And that Aiden O'Connell from Purdue with who's developing under Jimmy Garoppolo looked damn good. And that defensive line ate up Trey Lance in the San Francisco's offensive line. Yep. So don't give me that horseshit that, oh, it's going to be a shoe-in to beat the fucking Raiders. All right, keep talking your shit.
Just like it was a shoe-in to beat Seattle week 1, right?
Yep, I got so much shit for that. And when I started off that video, a big old flip off because I knew you guys were wrong, like always.
Yeah, you're wrong every fucking year. Maybe you guys,
I don't take them seriously. I don't take them seriously at all. They're morons.
They're on the payroll. They're paid by the Denver Broncos. And to the Denver...
Not a conspiracy theorist. That's the truth.
That's why you're allowed at camp. You have the passes to camp.
Correct.
That's my proof that you guys are bought and paid for.
Plus, I don't need to buy a ticket to go to camp. I think that's a waste of money and time, in my opinion, because we were told last year by certain individuals out there that we weren't at training camp. So how would we know? You guys are at training camp, and you guys look like the biggest dumbasses to ever fucking look at this team. Holy shit. And we weren't even there. And we were right.
We went off of what Sean – this is what we had to go off of. What Sean said in the press conference when Elway was still there. Your moves in free agency, your moves in the draft.
It's the same team.
Ever you selectively leaked to the media that had more holes than Swiss cheese in it because you guys are fucking morons over there. The fact that you can't even fucking leak footage of your training camp, highlight plays at your training camp, and you don't have anyone there who's smart enough to not see Garrett Bowles in the corner clearly fucking trying out for his UFC debut to fight John Jones for the heavyweight championship. You guys are fucking idiots. And you also see Cameron Fleming on the other one also holding. So Broncos Avenue. Oh, Cameron Fleming's he's a viable, he's a viable left tackle. He's gonna get bent.
He sucks. Every fucking player. Every fucking player
sucks. You're gonna have the same problems with Fleming as you are with Bowles. They both suck. Lloyd Cushenberry's gonna be great. Lloyd Cushenberry sucks. He fucking sucks.
That's why he missed his read on another free runner on the first play of the game for the Denver Broncos offense. Okay. You won't talk about that.
Where was Nick Burrito? Oh, he got pressure on a play or two. Get the fuck out. Who's Nick Burrito covering in pass coverage?
Passed on Travis Jones.
What's Nick Burrito going to be doing in pass coverage? Nothing.
Dog shit, nothing.
What's Randy Gregory going to be doing in pass coverage?
Neither is Frank. Where was Frank Clark?
Yeah, where was Frank Clark? Yeah, that was a name I didn't hear once.
Jesus Christ.
Like, you see that Frank Clark was trying to recruit Chris Jones to come to Denver?
He ain't coming to Denver because
he ain't coming to the Denver Broncos.
Hell no.
He'll go to the Raiders or the Chargers before he goes to the fucking Broncos.
He'd go to the Raiders before he came to the Broncos.
The man would join the,
He will go to the fucking Cardinals.
He'd go to the XFL if he had to choose between the Denver.
He would go to the CFL, the Canadian Football League.
Before he went to the. You guys, we get to see on your big ass jumbotron, Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets flipping you guys off in your own stadium.
I hope to God they do that shit.
I mean, they're already.
Oh man, that's one of the things I'm hoping this season.
Oh, they're talking their shit. They're letting them know.
It's on Hard Knocks. They're continuing to talk their shit. I watched the second episode and they're talking their shit still. They don't give a fuck.
They have that game circled on their calendar, and they're coming.
Oh God!
They need to flex this one to Sunday night, not because it's going to be a good game, but because it's shown on national television. Where you go, the difference between two organizations, one that runs their mouth, one that's PR, and one that does it the right way. And the Broncos need to be shown how dysfunctional, how incompetent, how fucking stupid they are from the top, from Walton to Penn to Elway to George Payton. Where's George Payton? Has anyone heard from this man?
He's a puppet.
Where has he been? I have not heard from this guy since I don't know when.
He is a puppet. He's a puppet. He's Elway's boy. And if that ownership has a lick of sense, get rid of the janitor, the cleaning, every fucking buddy that Elway is hired in that fucking organization. Clean up the bathroom, people. Clean it all out.
Yep, that building.
Clean it all out.
But you guys won't do that. You guys are just going to continue your same old bullshit when you had a shot at Harbaugh.
And you know what? You bring up a great point about the whole how this organization needs to be exposed. I have other fans around the NFL, not just Bronco fans, mind you. These are 31 other fans in the NFL, okay? And we have other people out there that can read through this fucking bullshit. Rodgers can read through it, Salah, Hackett, everybody, Billy Turner, all the fans, too, around the NFL, not just the Denver Bronco idiotic fans out there. There are some Denver Bronco fans that get it, but a majority of the Denver Bronco content creators and morons and stupidity people that want to show their man caves and how much they love the Broncos and how much, we buy their merch and shit. You guys can buy their merch all you want, but that's not going to help the winning product on the field. That's just going to continue to enable the bullshit that you've seen for 8 years. Just letting you know that.
Yep. They don't give a fuck about that because they're content creators who are bought and paid for by the Denver Broncos. The Broncos could spend money to hire, Broncos Syndicate. They could spend money to hire Broncos Avenue, pay for their setup, pay for their streaming setup, give them little passes, their little QR code. Oh, I'm gonna go into camp. I'm gonna tweet about camp, and we're not gonna show the fans we're not going to show the live feed, so we have transparency as an organization. We're just going to speak through our little content creators, through Zach Stevens, who's a fucking moron. Zach Stevens.
He looks like fucking E.T. out there.
You're a fucking idiot, Zach Stevens. Benjamin Albright, you're also a moron. All you guys, you're fucking idiots. You guys can, take my video down, but it's true.
That's fine. You can take the video down, but it'll be on BitChute. So you guys can suck on that. Sorry, I don't mean it. I'm just saying, so.
It's true. I mean, the shit that Benjamin Albright was saying to me on Twitter, very disrespectful, very unprofessional. Broncos Avenue. Oh, remember the screen? I'll send you those screenshots tonight. He was, I'll send you all the screenshots tonight of the shit he was saying. And I'll also send you the screenshot that Broncos Avenue sent me on.
Oh, man, I'm doing a video tomorrow on Broncos Avenue. You guys are being called out. You guys fucking suck.
Yep. Very unprofessional, very disrespectful, and you guys represent the former known as the Denver Broncos because Pat Bowlen would have never employed your dumb ass.
We're Pat Bowlen fans. This is the Pat Bowlen fan base right here. Okay, and we're not the fucking Walmart fan base.
To call you guys the Denver Broncos is disrespectful. The Denver Broncos
the Walmart General fans.
Walmart Generals. You guys, the Denver Broncos used to be one of the classes of the AFC. You think of the New England Patriots, the Steelers, the Broncos.
The Ravens.
The Ravens. Those are the teams you thought of every single year when you think of who were the best teams in the AFC. Now, the Broncos are who's the worst team in the NFL, who's dog shit. If there was a 33rd team in the NFL, the Broncos would be worse than them. If you added 37 teams to the NFL, the Broncos would be worse than all them. You guys fucking suck. The Lions got their shit together before you guys did. It took Bill Belichick 2 seasons after losing Brady to get back to the playoffs. And the Denver Broncos haven't sniffed 500 since Peyton Manning left. You guys fucking suck. You're a disgrace. Peyton Manning flipped off Elway. Peyton Manning retired because he wanted no part of what was going to happen after Pat Bowlen died. And the only reason Peyton Manning came here was because of Pat Bowlen. Remove Pat Bowlen, Peyton Manning would have went to Arizona or Tennessee. But we're going to hear, the Broncos, Sean Payton's going to sign another right tackle. Who the fuck is he going to sign? Who's on the market right now? Yeah, that chance to sign a left tackle, a right tackle, or to draft a left tackle, that time came and passed already. That's what you should have been doing in the draft. That's what you should have been doing in free agency. But you guys are fucking incompetent. Receivers, corners, edges. What was the first pick in the draft? A receiver. What was the second pick in the draft? I mean, you guys are... I just can't... What was your first pick in the draft last year? Nick Burrito, edge rusher. How do you guys draft and sign so many wide receivers and you guys' wide receiving core still sucks? How do you draft so many edges and your edge rushers still suck? How do you sign so many edge rushers and your edge rushers still suck?
Your corners still suck.
Your corners suck. Patrick Surtain, he's a one. He could cover routes. He could cover the vertical routes down the field. Put him underneath against a Justin Jefferson, against Stephon Diggs,
a DJ Moore,
Jalen Watt,
Devontae Adams,
Yeah. Well, we saw what happened against Devontae Adams. Justin Simmons, Surtain, walk-off touchdown. That's what we saw happen. One fan tried to tell me that it was Caden Stearns on the field when that happened, when you could clearly see number 31 trying to run back to his assignment because he fucking abandoned it like he always does.
Because he sucks.
How many? And then in the Chiefs game, he abandoned his assignment in the red zone because he'll run to the line of scrimmage for no fucking reason and left someone wide open in the end. I mean, this team is garbage. And then fans are going to be like, the Broncos only lost to the Chiefs by 1 score. The Chiefs went up 27-0 on you in a matter of seconds, and they weren't even trying. You guys can't even get a full fucking effort game, but I think next year you will, because the Chiefs are going to be wanting to prove a point. Because you guys run your fucking mouth. You guys fucking suck.
There's just no words. I've never seen an organization this incompetent before. I've never seen.
They would lose to the 2000 Cleveland Browns.
They would lose to the 72 Bucks.
They'd lose to the 72 Bucks.
They would lose to the They would lose to the 0-16 Browns.
They would have lost to that team.
Golly. Ugh.
But yeah, hype it up. I'm definitely thinking 4 wins. 4 wins. I got 4-13. That's what I have.
I'm not going to schedule prediction because realistically, I'm expecting the same old shit. I mean, that's going to change.
I've been watching the season over and over again since Peyton Manning left and Pat Bowlen died. Incompetent.
And there's Bronco fans that shit on Pat Bowlen. You're going to shit on Pat Bowlen. You stupid fucks.
Yeah, they clowned me for having a picture of Pat Bowlen. Oh, I'm sorry. Pat Bowlen's the one who...
Oh, yeah. All right, Broncos Avenue. You fucking morons. You want to shit on Pat Bowlen? I'm going to take a big old shit on you, you sons of... Oh my God. Stupid. They're not Bronco fans. They have to be fucking plants.
They are plants.
They're not Bronco. I don't give a fuck.
They plant their ass in that grass over there at UC Training Center, whatever the fuck it's called, and they tell us how great it is.
They probably got the fucking clot shot. They're that fucking stupid.
They should probably fucking remove those Lombardi trophies from the facility because you guys don't deserve to be associated with them. Period. Because you didn't earn them. This ownership, this regime didn't earn them. Pat Bowlen did. Those party
He's a
trophies be taken to Ohio, and you guys should have to.
I cannot believe they gave you shit. Oh my god!
You should give Pat Bowlen, same guy that you can thank for John Elway. The John Elway the player, not the front office John Elway. John Elway the player. You're gonna shit on the guy you can thank for players like Von Miller, Brian Dawkins, T.J. Ward, Darian Stewart, Danny. I can go on and on. Brandon Marshall, Eddie Royal, Brandon Lloyd,
Ryan Clady, Zane
Ryan,
Beadles, J.D. Walton, Louis Vasquez, Orlando Franklin, Gary Zimmerman, Tom Nalen,
Jabbar Gaffney. All these players. Eric Decker, Julius Thomas, Virgil Green. I mean, so many players, so many names that the Broncos could never dream of even scouting talent.
Here's what player on the Broncos is a Hall of Famer that they've drafted?
0. Their last.
Okay, ain't Justin Simmons because he sucks. Because the only people that believe in Justin Simmons are these Bronco content creators. His own peers won't even vote him to the fucking Pro Bowl. He sucks. He sucks. I can name 5 other safeties that are better than Justin Simmons right now. 5. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Budda Baker, Mika Fitzpatrick, and Derwin James. Derwin James is the best safety in our division. No questions about it. Broncos, you can fucking spew that shit all you want. But the best safety in the fucking division is not Justin Simmons. It is your Derwin James, who's a better player. I did film breakdown on that, and Jamal Adams.
Yep.
Those 5 are better than fucking Justin Tony Lily Simmons.
Micah Hyde's better than Justin Simmons.
Jordan Poyer.
Yep. Mike. Okay, so the Broncos safeties before Justin Simmons. Even in 2012, you had Mike Adams, Raheem Moore,
Dookie Inacho
in 2013.
They tried to say that Brian Dawkins is not as good as Justin.
Oh man. Oh man. Justin Simmons is garbage. He fucking sucks. Because he gets lollipops thrown to him. Take those lollipops away. What did Justin Simmons do all year last year? Nothing. He fucking sucks. How many games did he cost his team last year? The Justin Simmons try not to blow coverage in overtime. Difficulty level impossible. That's what he was doing against the Raiders. I mean, there are fans who think that Justin Simmons is better than Derwin James.
Oh my god! Of course they do.
There's fans who think that Justin Simmons is better than Budda Baker.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
But, all right, Denver fans, 49ers next week. Regular season around the corner. Product on the field is what's going to have to talk from here on out. You can't play for Justin Simmons. You can't play for Cortland Sutton. They said Cortland Sutton slimmed down. He looks like 2019 Cortland Sutton out there. That's strange because I didn't see any of that. Again, yeah, okay, he was wide open on some, on some 15-yard out routes. But
they were trying to say that he's Brandon Marshall. Oh my God! They were trying to say that this guy's the next Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, I miss the days when we had Eddie Royals, when we had Brandon Lloyds, when we had Brandon Marshalls, when we had Eric Deckers, the Demarius Thomases, Jabbar Gaffney,
Rod Smith, anybody?
Rod Smith, Ed McCaffrey. The Broncos, or the Shannon Sharps.
Demarius Thomas, Eric Decker, Wes Welker. Andre Caldwell was a better receiver than Cortland Sutton. Andre Caldwell
and Cody Latimer are both better receivers than Cortland Sutton. I honestly think KJ Hamler is better than Cortland Sutton when he was on the field.
When he was healthy.
At least he got open and caught the fucking ball.
Dude, Isaiah McKenzie is a better receiver than Cody Latimer.
What did he do in Buffalo?
Cortland Sutton.
His player development up in Buffalo.
Now he's with the Colts.
Now he's with the Colts.
You can't make it up. You can't make this shit up.
Brendan Holiday is a better receiver than Cortland Sutton.
Yep, I agree with that.
But you guys want to talk a bit.
Brandon Stokely was a better receiver than Cortland Sutton.
I'll take a team full of Brandon Stokely, Wes Welker, Julian Edelman. What do you guys know about good receivers? Because the receivers that are good to me, Wes Welker, Stokely, Edelman, those, in my opinion, those are the cream of the crop. Work hard, get open, shut the fuck up, and catch the ball. Except Wes Welker in the Super Bowl. But, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You can't make it up. You can't make it up, man.
They can kick return. They
can do it all. They're a Swiss Army knife.
Yep. Those are my Antonio Brown. Those are my kind of receivers. Receivers who actually put the fucking work in. Except Antonio.
Does Justin Jefferson ever talk shit?
Yeah. Does Stephon Diggs talk shit?
No. Does Devontae Adams talk shit?
No. Does Tyreek Hill talk shit?
The guys that I like were back in the 90s and 80s. I'm talking about your Rod Smiths. Guys like that, your Ed McCaffreys that can block.
Yep.
That can block. They can block. Those are my receivers that can block. I'm not talking about these lollipop Jerry Jeudy drops the doodle doo boy and Jerry Jeudy. I'm done. I'm
enjoy. Hey, Denver fans, enjoy, hyping up this dog shit team. All right. You can enjoy it all you want. But when you're sitting on the couch in disappointment in week 8, when your team's 1-7 because you fucking suck, maybe you guys.
And then when what's his face walks out on you guys, Sean Payton, what are you gonna do next?
When Sean Payton calls it quits, who are you gonna hire next? Vance Joseph?
I hope, dude. that is one of my bigger predictions. I want to say it. That is.
We're gonna call it here. When Sean Payton retires, Vance Joseph's the next head. Vance Joseph is the next head coach. It's just a matter of when. I'm calling it. Why else is he in Denver?
That's true. Good God.
That's the only person who's gonna take that fucking job when Payton walks away.
Man, Vance Joseph is head coach. That's fucking yes, man. Nice. All right, here we
Broncos
go.
Gonna be like,
leader of men. Here we go. The leader of men. Great practice. All right. Thanks, Elway.
I'm gonna do Broncos Avenue when this happens. Yeah, breaking news, guys. Great news out of Dove Valley. Looks like Vance Joseph, the next head coach of the Denver Broncos. I know he was here before, and I know it didn't go too well, but he's really matured and grown. He really corrected those mistakes that he suffered. So I think the second time around, it's going to be much better. And I think he's a top 10 coach in the NFL for sure. I think he's up there with Mike Tomlin. I think he's up there with Bill Belichick. I know, try to hold the discouragement because Vance Joseph is a proven veteran in this league. He's always had great defenses. That's how it'll go when they hire him as head coach. I promise you, it's either this year or next season. He's going to be the interim head coach and probably the next head coach. The right move should have been Rosberg. That's who they should have hired as a coach because he was a no nonsense. But he
hired a Matt Rule
he wasn't a puppet for Elway. That's why they didn't.
If you weren't they should have just hired Jim Harbaugh. If they cleaned house in that organization, that should have been the guy.
That was the guy.
I wanted the guy. I wanted him. I wanted Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh.
I wanted Matt fucking Rule. I wanted Matt Rule. And the reason I say I want Matt Rule because he's a culture setter and he's a team builder.
And he's not gonna fall for Elway's shit.
Fuck no. That's why he went back to the college game.
Jim Harbaugh. I wanted Jim Harbaugh since the Niners got rid of him.
Yeah, I do. I like Jim Caldwell. How the fuck does that guy not have a job? The Lions? What he did with the fucking Lions, man? My God, that was insane. I would take Dan Campbell over Sean Payton right now. That guy's a fucking badass.
You know who I'd take over Sean Payton right now? Nathaniel Hackett.
Oh yeah. I would take Rich Scangarillo over Sean Payton. I said I said it, and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, Rich Scangarello made this offense look like an NFL offense, something everyone else.
That's the offense I've seen since Super Bowl 50, since the 14 season.
Yep, since the first half of it.
Yep.
Then they went into Foxborough, got the shit kicked out of them, and were never the same since.
Yep.
But I can't. I can't. I don't know why. I don't know why Peyton Manning sticks around this organization. I'm glad he does because I like Peyton Manning. But why do you stick around?
You just became a Bronco fan when Peyton Manning arrived. That's all what happened to you. So.
Yeah. I just became a fan. You know, I totally wasn't like a Cutler fan when I was like 9 years old. You know,
you weren't a Plummer fan either. You know, you came around to be a Bronco fan since when Peyton Manning came to Denver. You know nothing about the Broncos. You don't know about the history. Your family.
Yeah, I didn't watch Brandon Marshall or Brandon Lloyd or any of these, but
that's the reason why they don't like us is because I actually studied the history of the Broncos. I study the history of the NFL, and I know what good teams look like and bad teams look like. It's fucking obvious.
And the Broncos aren't even bad. They're dogs.
They're atrocious. And, you know, the NFL, football's an easy game. It really is an easy game. It's simplistic, but if you're going to try and put all these stupid fucking things into a simplistic game, the simplicity of the game is going to fucking 9 times out of 10, it's going to smack you in the face if you're a stupid organization. And that's just the reality of this. That is just the reality of it. This organization, and this is going to be the last thing I say because I got to get out of here, but the reason why I'm so hard on this organization is because I expect better. I expect because of what Pat Bowlen instilled, but I think that's gone. I think the Denver Broncos have died with Pat Bowlen, and I honestly think in the next few years, I think you're onto something where this organization rebrands itself or moves.
I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to rename themselves. They're going to move to a bigger market city because that's what this ownership is into. They're not into football. They're into money. And it's that I'm into culture, and when the Denver Broncos do that, I'm going to root for a team like the New England Patriots, Buffalo Bills, the Pittsburgh Steelers because
Eagles.
I like classic AFC football. Like when the Chargers moved from San Diego, what the fuck were you guys thinking?
When the Raiders moved to fucking Vegas?
The fuck are you guys thinking? The Vegas Raiders made the LA Chargers. You guys are fucking stupid. You had a fan base, a loyal fan base in San Diego. Qualcomm Stadium was one of the most iconic stadiums in the NFL. And you guys fucking moved to. How's that working out for you?
The what? The money.
And you guys don't make any because, oh, yeah, you do make money because the opposing fan bases show up to your fucking stadium. And the San Diego Chargers and the Denver Broncos rivalry back in those days was one of the funnest ones. Phillip Rivers and Antonio Gates, LaDainian Tomlinson, Jay Cutler. Those were the days. The fuck is...
Yep, that's what you get now.
What you get is when the Broncos and Chargers face off is who wants to lose the game more. Because both of those teams... Yeah. I'm going to end it off with this. We're hard on the Broncos because... Not because we hate the Broncos, not because we want to see them lose. I want to be excited to watch this team. I want to actually look forward to Broncos are playing. I think they have a shot. I think they can compete. But you're not going to get that when you're not addressing the two most important positions in football, the trenches on both sides of the ball, your front seven on defense, your offensive line, your tight end room on offense, and the only positions that exist on the football field are skill positions. This isn't what we stand for. We stand for culture, which you don't have, tradition, which you had but don't have anymore, winning, no excuses, no shit talking, a first-class organization, which was what we got under Pat Bowlen, and we've watched it completely regress. And Denver Broncos country, you should be ashamed of yourselves for allowing this to happen. You should be ashamed of yourselves for watching this organization become what it's become, because this is not what Pat Bowlen ever would have let happened. And for you guys to disrespect Pat Bowlen and discredit what he did for you guys, he's the reason you have 3 Lombardi trophies. He's the reason you won Super Bowl 50. He's the reason you won. He's the reason you guys were relevant, because ever since he left, you guys have been dog shit. And you guys are going to be dog shit until I don't know when. Maybe by the time I'm living in my, retirement home because, I wasn't home enough for the kids because I was working too much and they hate me, and I'm living, in some facility getting abused by the medical staff because, that I'll be watching.
Probably get shitting in my pants.
Yeah, I'll be eating my cream of wheat because I have no teeth.
Yeah. You and I will probably be roommates shitting our own pants and eating shitty fucking food, and our fucking families hate us.
Getting our asses kicked by the staff at the
by the nursing staff. They're gonna kick our ass.
Getting the shit slapped out of us, getting tucked into
yeah.
But this isn't what we stand for. This is never what we stand for. We're gonna call out the bullshit. We're not here to sell you the fake. We're not here to sell you a dream. We're here to tell you the truth. And in a dishonest world,
I take this video down because quite frankly, you're gonna prove a point if you do that shit. I challenge you to do it. I don't give a fuck.
In a world full of dishonesty, deception, lying, narcissism,
which world it is?
Narcissism, corruption, evil, just pure evil. The truth is the enemy of that stuff.
Yep. You talk about shit that you're not supposed to talk about, you're immediately banned or called a conspiracy theorist. And you know what? You can call me that because I talk about a whole bunch of shit, and you can call me all the shit you want. But you know damn well that my track record speaks for itself, that this man's track record speaks for itself, and our fellow friend, Denver Broncos Mile High View, our work speaks for itself.
Yep. And it doesn't matter. I mean, just because you pretend problems aren't there or you want to lie, the truth will catch up to you.
You can't live in the world like that. You cannot live in a world and pretend that there's no problems. You can't live especially this world, because I'll call it out like I see it. You'll call it out like you see it. So that's why we're so feared, and that's why the world, the people that run this world, hate people like you and I, and hate Mile High View, because we fucking tell it like it is. And we do not get talking notes from Dove Valley. We don't get bought and paid for subscriptions. We are actually authentic individuals. We might go a little bit off the edge, but you know what? We want the Broncos to be good. We want the Broncos to get back to where they're supposed to be, not this fucking dog shit that John Elway has provided. I'm done. That's it. That's all I got to say.
All right. Well, we'll cover the next bullshit that happens, because I know it's coming. I know there's an article.
Get ready for the Adam Peters 49ers, baby.
Yep. So we can put on a fucking clinic against your shitty ass.
I hope Adam Peters fucking runs it.
Yep.
Kyle Shanahan, you know they're going to fucking want to kick the Broncos' ass.
Remember the year? Oh, what year was it?
When Kyle Shanahan was shooing to be the next head coach?
No, 2018, when the Broncos almost had a shot at the playoffs. Like, they beat Pittsburgh because
and they got boat race.
Right? They beat the Bengals. They had to win 2 more games after that, and everyone thought they were just going to roll over the 49ers. The 49ers fucked you guys up because they had a better 53-man roster.
They spreaded those butt cheeks.
I remember watching that game. That was when I was like, "Oh, I hope the Broncos make the playoffs by the hair of their chin." You guys got fucked over by the fucking 49ers. Absolutely destroyed by the 49ers. Playoffs gone because you guys suck ass. Oh, and that was when Philip Lindsay was having his year before you fucked his career up too. I feel bad for you, Philip Lindsay. I really liked you as a player. You deserved better than what you got from the NFL.
You were a Papel and Bronco. You were a Papel and Bronco all the way.
Yep. Yeah, everything that, leader in the locker room, hard worker, no excuses, no shit talking, carried yourself with class.
And you pissed off Elway because you exceeded expectations, so he had to get rid of you.
And they replaced you with Melvin Fumbles Gordon. Then they brought him back. Oh, my God. The Broncos could still go after Lindsay right now and add depth to their running back room.
They would go after Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, they want. I thought Dalvin Cook was a shoe-in too. By the way. Oh,
All
yeah.
right, Broncos Avenue.
Yep. All right. Well, we're gonna get out of here. We'll be here to cover the next fuckery that happens. I can't wait till this 49er game because is it San Francisco too? Oh no, I think it's in Denver.
Is
No,
it in?
it doesn't matter where it is. Anywhere.
Well, they'll get their asses kicked no matter what. So I'm gonna look up real quick. All right. Look here. Oh my God. All right. No, it's in San Francisco. Oh God.
I remember once upon a time when the Broncos beat the 49ers 34-0. But we're so long removed from those days.
Oh, well, we beat the 49ers last year. Yeah, when Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't hit the side of a barn.
If Jimmy Garoppolo didn't step out of the back of the end zone on his own accord, he lost that game. It was a 1-point win, and that was a 2-point difference that would have cost you the game. You fucking idiot. Thank you, Jimmy Garoppolo, for that free win. You played them at the perfect time of the season. If you played them at any other point during the season, you would have got fucked up.
Absolutely. All righty.
All right.
Take care.
You too.